This is a horror one by Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp, located right here in Jacksonville, Florida. Before I begin, I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem, Harakah Kodash, Ma'amaf. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Shalom to you, Akim, and Agwatim and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. I wanted to run through this quick scripture dealing with 2nd Edras chapter 6. All right, it's going to be a quick hydration. You might hear some damn folly music, that Christmas in the background. Tried to find somewhere to park, but shit, they started playing that damn music in the background. So anyway, I'm gonna try to knock this out real quick. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 1. It says, "And he said unto me in the beginning, when the earth was made, before the borders of the world stood, or ever the winds blew." All right. So before the Lord set the boundaries on the earth with the firmament and how far he wanted the lands to go, before the wind blew around the earth, right, what we call oxygen or air. Now it says, before it thundered and lightning, all right, which is caused by what you call the heavenly space weather. All right, what happens out in space affects what happens upon earth. So before all these things that happen upon the earth, or ever the foundations of paradise were laid. So before the Lord set, ground upon the earth, what you'll call mountains, grassy lands, plains, ground, what you call earth itself. Before the fair flowers were seen, all right, or ever the movable powers were established. Now the movable powers, talking about the sun, the moon, and the stars, they were established on the fourth day. All right, not created but established. Before the innumerable multitude of angels were gathered together. That's when the Lord gathered all his angels in heaven. All right, created the sun, moon, and stars, the earth, and the actions upon the earth, which is like weather, seed time and harvest. On the fourth day, he created the order of the sun, moon, and the stars, what they were going to be to man that he was about to create. All right. Now it says, and he created the angels also and gave them order. Or ever the heights of the air were lifted up. All right. So he set up what you would call the sky. All right. What we call the heavens. Before the measures of the firmament were named. You got different levels to the firmament. The exosphere, what you call it? The troposphere, the stratosphere, right? Thermosphere, the mesosphere. But of course they had Hebrew names. Or ever the heights of the air were lifted up, before the measures of the firmament were named, or ever the chimneys in Zion were hot. Because that took a process, just like everything else took a process to create. The Lord created us into a nation when he brought us out of Egypt, established us in Zion, in the land of Canaan, established the land of Israel, and also Jerusalem, the capital of Judah, right? And the chimneys were hot, meaning he established us as families in that land, and gave it to us through the promise that was given to Abraham. So before all of this, right, and ere the present years was sought out, all right, or ever the inventions of them that now sin were turned, before they were sealed that have gathered faith for a treasure, man. So before the elect were established upon the earth, when the Lord made a separation with the elect, on this earth that began that race, to every time where their works began to follow them. You know, the spirit of the prophet is subject unto the prophet, and they lay up faith for them in the heavens each time they live upon this earth, all the way into the kingdom, to judgment day. That's what this is all about. But the ones that's wicked, they continue to be wicked until the day of judgment. All right, before they were sealed, that have gathered faith for a treasure. So before the ones that gathered faith for a treasure. All right, Esau can park right next to me, of course. Weirdos, man. Then did I consider these things, all right? So we stash our riches in heaven, hoping to be, get that salvation on Judgment Day. Then did I consider these things. So the Lord saying, before all of this was established, he considered that he was going to root out wickedness from the earth. It was starting with his people, Israelites. And he set up the whole process from the beginning that we were going to be suffering in these last days, suffering in slavery and coming out of slavery. He considered all of that. You know, and how it said, let me get that real quick. All right, this is 2 Peter 2:9. The Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations. All right, so he knows how, through his wisdom, he already predetermined how he's going to deliver his elect out of these temptations. All right, through many lifetimes. And to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished, man. So he reserved those spirits of the unjust to be born back in this life after the wilderness, when they were rebelling against the Lord, to root out that wickedness, going all the way back to Adam. The Most High established it and already predetermined how to root that wickedness from amongst our people. Excuse me. And also how to root it out of the earth through getting rid of Esau. You know, that's like the core of wickedness right there. And to root it out of Israel, man. And then put us on top to be ruling the earth in total righteousness. All right, 2 Edras 6:6. Then did I consider these things. So the Lord thought of this from the beginning, of how to deliver the elect, and also how to reserve the wicked, the ungodly, to judgment day to be punished. All right. Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other. By me also they shall be ended, and by none other. Right? That's why the Lord said, "Cursed be the man that trusteth in man." If you trusting on Esau to save you, or to change, get a president that's in office going to change everything and make it good on earth and make America great again, all this madness. You know, man can't do that, man. It's Yahweh that can turn the page and bring in this new age. There's a day where the new age is going to begin. The new age of Israel ruling upon this earth. Israelites, the elect, under Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, ruling in righteousness upon this earth. And it's going to start before this kingdom falls. All right, we're being established right now in the spirit. All right, before the physical happens. But the establishment in the spirit is happening right here. All right? And when the Lord puts his laws within our inward parts, in our heart, in the wilderness, we're going to be perfect on this earth. But right here, the Lord is establishing his men and the believers right here in this society, at this age right now, this current age. All right, so there's not going to be a breaking period to where the Esau going to fall, then the Arabs going to rule, or China's gonna rule for a while, and then Russia. Nope, it's going straight from this rulership into the Israelites, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans ruling this earth under Yahweh Shem Shai. All right. So it says here, verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the time? So what's going to be the changing of the ages, man? The age where Esau is ruling, and when is it going to change to Jacob ruling? All right. But here you go. Matter of fact, this is 2 Peter 3:10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. See, the day of the Lord. So, Judgment Day. In the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. So this current rulership, this age is going to pass away with the destruction from the ICBMs. And the great noise was going to be those explosions. And the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also, and the works that are therein shall be burned up. All right. The point right here, 2 Peter 3:12. Looking for, so we're looking for it, all right, the deliverance and the Lord bringing his kingdom to this earth, righteousness, and hastening by doing his work unto the coming of the day of Yahweh, and praying to the Father, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for a new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. And that's the point. So 2 Ezra 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? What time? Esau's rulership. All right, let's get that real quick. This is a curse on our people, But 2 Ezra chapter 6 is speaking about the blessing and the curse. So Jacob was going to be cursed first, and Esau was going to live out their birthright, ruling with the sword, and then Jacob's going to get their inheritance right in the midst of Esau's inheritance. All right. One step away from it falling, literally. His hand grabbed his heel. That was prophetic. Coming out of the womb, Jacob's hand grabbed the heel of Esau. That represents Esau living his birthright, and then Jacob being born and living out his birthright. But it's going to be right in the midst of Esau's birthright, right at the end of it, one step away from it falling. All right, and also represents Jacob pulling Esau down by their foot at the end of their system through Yahweh Shai. That's Daniel chapter 2. In the time of the 10 toes. Deuteronomy 28 and 28. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. All right. So that's this is why. It says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed. See, we got destroyed as a nation, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. All right. So, and Esau was exalted through their inheritance, which is through the sword, through robbing, stealing, and killing. So they got up above us very high. That's them being in the heavenly state, and us being in the hellish condition. Ecclesiastes 10 and 7. I have seen servants upon horses. So Esau is the real servant to Jacob, according to the prophecies as well in Genesis 25 and also Genesis 27. Ecclesiastes 10 and 7. I have seen servants upon horses. So Esau and them, they're the true servants upon the earth. But they're in rulership. That's what the horse represents, being exalted. And princes walking as servants upon the earth. And that represents the children of Israel, walking in a low condition. That's what? Let's get it. All right, this is Isaiah 14 and 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? See, Esau, they were exalted, then they're going to fall like lightning to the earth. It's going to be quick. Son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground? All right, and hell, the grave is another word for hell. All right, and we were in our grave here in America, starting with slavery. All right, and that goes into Revelations 11, Ezekiel 37, when the Lord called bringing us out of the grave. All right, so it says, O Lucifer, son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, talking about Esau, which didst weaken the nations? For thou, and one of the main nations Esau weakened was the Israelites. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. So they wanted to rule over us, rule over the world. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahweh. And I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation. So they wanted to rule over us. They wanted to rule over the Israelites in this land, in the sides of the north, right? North America, where they hope to rule over us as a nation, to rule over Jacob. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. So always over back into the pits of Europe. They're going to be put into the caves in slavery. All right. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell. But what? Let's get this. All right. So when the Most High promises to change the curse and put the curse on the nation, especially with Esau, this is going to happen to Jacob. Deuteronomy 28 and 13. And Yahweh shall make thee the head and not the tail, and thou shalt be above only. That's it. Everything. We will be above everything under Yahweh Shai. And thou shalt not be beneath. All right, because right now we're beneath. If thou hearken unto the commandments of Yahweh thy power, we were not able to do that. But through Yahweh Shai, we have a chance at salvation, all right, to be made perfect. Promise, which I command thee this day, and to observe and to do them, all right. So he said, what? We're going to be above only, and not beneath. All right. So let's go back to the main chapter real quick. 2nd Ezra 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And so what's going to be the parting asunder that the Most High said that he's going to change, and make us perfect and righteous, and to put down wickedness? Let's get that real quick. It says 2nd Ezra 7 and 33. It says, and the Most High shall appear upon the seat of judgment. All right, that's what the Most High is pushing everything towards, the day of judgment. And misery shall pass away. Misery is going to pass away for the children of Israel, for the elect of Israel. And the Lord's suffering, and the long suffering shall have an end. Not only the long suffering of the elect of Israel, but the long suffering of Yahweh Shai, that's long suffering for us. We're going to have an end, waiting for the kingdom. We'll get the reward. But judgment only shall remain. Right? Truth shall stand, and faith shall wax strong. See that? And the work shall follow, and the reward shall be showed, man. The reward is going to be shown through the elect. What's that? Eternal life, immortality, and righteousness. And the good deeds shall be of force. All right, so it's going to be you're going to be paid for your good deeds. And wicked deeds shall bear no rule, man. The Lord gonna put down their rulership. Right? He said that the workers of iniquity, they're gonna bear no rule anymore, especially over the Israelites. All right, Second Ezra 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the ages, or the times, or the kingdoms? All right, kingdoms of wickedness, Esau's rulership, and the kingdom of Yahushua and righteousness under Yahweh and the children of Israel. This is John 14, no, 28. Ye have heard how I said unto you, I go away and come unto you again. Talking about Yahushua. If ye loved me, ye would rejoice because I said, I go unto the Father, for my Father is greater than I. Right? Yahweh Shai was seeking greater power, being with Yahweh. All right, to deliver us in these last days, man. That's good for us according to Revelations chapter 5. You know, so Yahweh Shai became that sacrifice for us to have forgiveness. And now I have told you before it come to pass, that's prophecy, that when it come to pass, ye might believe. That's the point. He wants us to believe. That's why the prophecies are to boost our faith towards the day of salvation. Hereafter I will not talk much with you, because Yahweh Shai is not, he's speaking through us and to us, but it's like speaking through us, you know. You can't hear his voice right now except through his men and through the prophecies. Hereafter I will not talk much with you, for the prince of this world cometh, man. Who's the prince of this world? At that time, he was talking about Titus and Vespasian, which represented basically Esau. And that's prophecy is 70 A.D., the prophecy of Daniel, chapter 9. All right? The prophecy of Daniel, chapter 7, where the Roman Empire. You know? So all of this was playing out. And he said, what? This has to happen first, that they were going to rule the mystery of iniquity that began their work and wickedness. All right, it says what? The prince of this world cometh, the prince of that wicked age, man, the satanic kingdom, and have nothing in me. See, Esau has no place in Jacob's blessing. All right. All right, I'm gonna try to be quick. This is Daniel 2 and 40. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, talking about the Roman Empire. For as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. So through the Roman Empire, they took down the Greek Empire, the Persian Empire, all of them. You know, started running everything, and even stomped us out with their military. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, the 10 toes going into the European Union or the Roman Empire, the 10 common markets, today would be the banking countries, all right, the European Union and NATO. And it says, and whereas thou sawest the feet, which the feet represents the end of their system, okay, which thou sawest the feet and the toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron. So you mix iron and clay together, it's not as strong as it would be if it was just pure iron. All right, so it's losing its power. So as we see, matter of fact, look at that. This is Mark 3 and 26. And if Satan rise up against himself, see, they're rising up against themselves, partly weak, partly strong. The Brexit, they're all separating from each other. And be divided, see, partly iron, partly clay. He cannot stand, but hath an end. So we know that the end is coming, that we're in the time of the end of this man's system. And in the midst of that fall of this system, and especially Babylon, America, the Lord is raising up the tabernacle of David that is fallen. All right, through the Spirit. All right, so let's continue. Verse 43, Daniel 2 and 43. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. So they try to mingle in with the other nations. But they shall not cleave one to another, right? Because those other nations pulled away from Europe, and they're they're leaguing up with the BRICS, so they're not linking up with the Western nations, man, what they call the West. And it says, even as iron is not mixed with clay, man. So it made the Roman Empire and their power structure even weaker right now. All right, due to the lack of their allies and also with America. And in the days of these kings, so in the time of Esau being divided against themselves and being divided from their allies and falling, and in the days of these kings shall Yahweh, the power of heaven, set up a kingdom. So in the midst of it, all right, this is symbolic of the prophecy with Esau, Jacob grabbing Esau's heel. All right, it says here, and in the days of these kings, so in the days of these nations being divided, especially with Esau, shall Yahweh, the power of heaven, set up a kingdom. So he's setting us up, all right, his men, which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. It's talking about the kingdom of Jacob. All right, Jacob getting their inheritance, starting with Yahushua. All right. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, talking about Yahushua, and that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, and the clay, and the silver, and the gold. Remember it said, upon his head shall be many crowns. And the great power, basically saying he's going to destroy the satanic kingdom upon this earth. All right, with all the nations. The great power, Yahweh, have made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof is sure. All right, so 1 Corinthians 1 and 27. For after that, in the wisdom of Yahweh, the world by wisdom knew not the Most High. So he didn't allow Esau to know about him, all right, to understand how to please the Father. And it pleased Yahweh by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believed. All right, starting with the elect of Israel, all right. Things had to happen first, man. Revelation 7. And then you have Matthew 24 and 14. And this gospel, all right, so let's read this real quick. Why not? I'll just read it real quick, all right? Because the disciples, when they were looking at Yahushua, they thought the end of the Roman Empire was going to happen right there. And that Yahushua was going to take the kingdom right there at that time, 2,000 years ago. And he said, what? The end shall not come until there has been a falling away first. And the man of sin still had to be revealed. And we're in the time where they're revealing right now. Right? Esau being revealed. Where can I start from? We'll go to verse 3. Matthew 24 and 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, talking about Yahushua, and the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? The end of who? Esau's world. The end of this age. And Yahushua answered, right, let's get that real quick. This is Genesis 49 and 10. Part of prophecy, the scepter shall not depart from Judah, right? Because Yahushua is going to rule on the throne, the descendant of King David. nor a lawgiver from between his feet, right? Yahweh Shai is going to be the lawgiver. Until Shiloh come, and until unto him shall the gathering of the people be, right? Check this out. Alright, Psalms 45 and 6. And this is a prophecy from King David unto Solomon, who is also known as Yahweh Shai in the spirit. Psalms 45 and 6. Thy throne, O power. So he's talking about Yahweh Shai being a power himself, going into the book of John, which speaks about Yahweh Shai being the power and amongst the powers, all the way from the beginning. Alright, amongst the angels and among Yahweh. Thy throne, O power, O God, talking about Yahweh Shai, is forever and ever. The scepter of thy kingdom is a righteous scepter. So when Yahweh Shai rules, it's going to be in righteousness. Alright, but what did it say? Let's get Job 9 and 24. Job 9 and 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So Esau's scepter and their rulership is through what? Wickedness. Alright? And so now Yahweh Shai, he came to set the foundation of his rulership, which is going to be in what? Righteousness. And Esau's ruling this world in wickedness has been given into their hands. Alright? The prince of this world at night, ruling the night. And Yahweh Shai, what? Hebrews 1 and 8. But unto the Son he saith. So this is to Yahweh Shai. This is him living out and establishing that prophecy, being born as Yahweh Shai and doing what the Father told him. That prophecy that was spoken by King David. Hebrews 1 and 8. But unto the Son he saith, thy throne, O power. See, again, it's been reiterated. It's forever and ever. So when Jacob rules, it's going to be forever and ever. A scepter of righteousness is the scepter of thy kingdom. Alright? So when he rules, it's going to be a kingdom of righteousness, man. And that's what we're looking for. A kingdom wherein dwelleth righteousness, man. As I read earlier. Alright? And for this one to be destroyed and pass away with a great noise. So Daniel 7 and 17. These great beasts or great kingdom, which are four, talking about the same kingdom that Nebuchadnezzar saw in the prophecy, the statue, of the satanic kingdom that were going to rule on the earth until wickedness be rooted out through Yahweh Shai. The stone that's going to smite the statue right, at the feet. Just like King David smote the giant Goliath at the head. These great beasts, which are four kingdoms, which shall rise out of the earth. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom, man, while they're ruling. Alright? The Lord gonna give his men power real soon. Be at that time. And possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever, man, with righteousness. Alright, let's scroll down. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Alright, let's get this real quick. Let me see. This is them putting us in subjection, and then the Lord redeeming us out of slavery, out of hell, because he gave Yahweh Shai the keys to hell and death. Alright, us being destroyed as a nation and exalting us. Daniel 7 and 21. I beheld in the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them. So through America, they made war against us, the hammer of the earth, and they prevailed against it. They put us in slavery until the Ancient of Days came. See, Judgment Day. And the judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. That's the elect of the Most High. It's been hallowed from the beginning. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall rule which shall be diverse from all the other kingdoms. It had a senate, you know, many other things, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break in pieces. That's the Roman Empire. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom, the Roman Empire, the 10 common markets of Rome, which is now called the European Union, are 10 kings that shall rise, and another shall rise after them, talking about America. Just like they're going to be pushing all the draconian measures of the Roman Empire, according to Revelation 13. Exercise of all the power of the beast before the dragon. And he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings, talking about Britain, France, and Spain, which goes into the establishment of America as a nation. Alright? Gaining its independence. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and dividing of times, man. Basically for a long season, that little season that the Lord was speaking about. Alright, and that little season is about to be over. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion to consume and to destroy it until the end. Alright? And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdoms under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. Man. Alright, so it said, what shall be the parting asunder of times, man? And we know the scriptures say in the same chapter, you shall hear wars and rumors of wars, right? But the end is not yet. It says what? Matthew 24 and 14, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. So us doing this work is part of the final prophecy as well. Alright? It's going to be preached all over the world. And once they push that last prophecy, Revelation 13, the MOTB, World War III is going to climax. Yahweh is going to show himself on the throne, bring that judgment. Alright, let's finish this off. This is only supposed to be a one-shot deal, but it's all good. 2nd Edras 6, and let's go to the point. 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, man? Of these ages of wickedness upon this earth? When is it going to change to righteousness and rulership for eternity? Or when shall the end of the first, the end of Esau's rulership, alright, spoken of in the prophecies in Genesis 25, and the beginning of it that followeth? The beginning of it that followeth. See, Ezra was waiting for like a space between Esau's rulership and then a space, a moment, a drift, and then Jacob ruled later. But the Lord was like, nah, it ain't going to be no space. Don't look for any intervals to happen. It's going to be just like from Abraham unto Abraham. When the Lord woke up Abraham and gave him his promise, that's it. Sent him into the promised land. All right, he believed. That's why he said we're children of faith after Abraham and the promise. He woke up Abraham, took him from amongst the people, and brought him into the promised land. That's what the Lord going to do to the elect. That move in that spirit of faith. So we're woken up now, and that's it. The next stop is the kingdom. While Esau is ruling, while they're falling, while this place is falling, we're being risen up in the spirit to stand upon our feet. A great exceeding army. All right. So Esau's really going to be out of rulership once Yahushua puts those elites in chains over there in Europe. All right, not just America. This is where our hell is at. Now, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, this is when the prophecy, the promise was given to Abraham and passed on through Isaac, and it fell upon and landed on Jacob, right? The promise. And Esau were born of him, right, through Isaac and Rebekah. Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, and that was prophecy, Genesis 25. It held first the heel of Esau. That goes into while Esau's ruling, before they finish ruling, before their rulership is over, Jacob's going to be in power. Scriptures say that Yahushua shall have to do with thy youth. And in the beginning of his kingdom, it's going to be a full army on this earth waiting for him. Alright. So his hand held first the heel of Esau, which means there's no space between it as far as time. Right, he held his heel. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows immediately. No other nation is going to rule after Esau. It's going to be nothing. It's going to be Jacob. And the hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand, meaning there was no space between his hand and his heel. It's going to be immediate rulership. Through Yahushua showing up with his holy angels. And the Lord's men being exalted. So the hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. Other question asked Edras asked not. The angel was showing Edras a lot of the prophecies and mysteries, right? And hidden wisdom. So yeah, man, this judgment is going to be the judgment from the Almighty, and the transition of power is going to be immediate. Before we get in that land. Once the elect are given that power, rising them up above Esau's blessing the sword. And being kept by angels, Psalms 91. And then being taken up into the chariots. And being made immortal. And meeting Yahushua and the holy angels being made perfect. Through him putting the laws in our inward part and sealing with the covenant. But the initial start is happening now. We're being risen up. And on that day, he says, what? Then shall it be known who are my chosen. Alright, he's going to raise up a standard against them when they wrestle like a flood. He said they should build nothing against you at some point. Alright, so the Lord is establishing his kingdom now. Let's get this real quick. Alright, so we ain't going to have to wait for them to be completely out of power for us to rule. Nope. The Lord gonna do it while they're in power. Psalms 23. Go to 4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Right? The valley of the shadow of death is America. This is our hell. He said, death and hell shall be cast into the lake of fire. And this is that place. He said, what? Though we're walking here in this midst of this place, I will fear no evil. So we don't fear the evils here. But thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, right? Thy spirit and thy word. Okay? Law, statutes, and commandments, his word, and his Holy Spirit, which is the comforter. This is what they comfort you. So he's with us. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. So while Esau is ruling, the Lord is preparing his table. Alright. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Alright, so now the Lord is raising up the tabernacle of David in the presence of our enemies. So that goes along with prophecy to where Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow. It's going to be an immediate transition of power, a changing of the guard, to where there's not going to be any intervals between Esau's rulership and Jacob's rulership. This is going to happen just like day and night. You know, we're in the midst of the sunrise right now, where we can see the sun peeking over the horizon. We can feel the day start rising in our heart, because that day is getting closer. So with that, I'm going to say Shalom.